Hi, David Thexton here, and welcome to podcast number 7 of Everything Business Consulting, brought to you by ConsultX Business Success Program. This weekly podcast is for those of you out there who are a business consultant or you want to become a business consultant. You may already be a business consultant but are looking to improve your skills. You may be working in corporate and you want to get out of the rat race and start a new career, or you may be an accountant or ex-business owner. The common theme here is that you are looking for a new profession, one that enables you to help business owners plan your own lifestyle, earn a lot of money, and to have the option to build a substantial consulting business if you want to take it further. Today we're going to be answering questions from our listeners around the world. But before we do that, let's talk about ConsultX Business Success Program. ConsultX is an online, cloud-based business consulting application that has everything you need if you want to become a business consultant or be a better business consultant. With over a decade of development, ConsultX offers you a unique opportunity to enter the world of business consulting with a complete system ready to run straight out of the box. In other words, once you sign up, you have access to everything you need to build a consulting business for yourself. Get out of the rat race and invest in yourself with your own consulting business. Manage your own time and enjoy a lifestyle business where you are the boss and you benefit 100% from your efforts. ConsultX provides a complete web-based training system where you work your way through at your own pace, learning all the important lessons that we've learned over a decade of being in this profession. If this sounds like you, then go to www.info.consultx.com. That's www.info.consultx.com and learn more about this opportunity. Here's the first of our letters from Simon in London, England. Dear David, thank you for providing your weekly podcast, Everything Business Consulting. I became self-employed as a business consultant about 12 months ago, and I've made considerable progress to the point where I'm now earning 50% more than what I was as an employee. My question is that I now know that I require a system to help me become more competent as a consultant and be able to handle more clients effectively. Please tell me how ConsultX will help me do this. Well, ConsultX will help you to acquire more clients by giving you a system to effectively prospect and recruit new clients. Now, the system's been developed over a decade and we go through a process, a series of meetings. There's 2 meetings of round about, the first meeting's about an hour and the second one's about 2 hours. We call it a discovery meeting and a diagnostic meeting. And what these meetings do is the first meeting, the discovery meeting, establishes the challenges of the prospect and then provides compelling solutions by way of a business diagnostic to help them improve the profits, the growth, and then, of course, the value of a business. Now, we've honed this process over years through doing thousands of these meetings with prospective business owners, and we've got the questions pretty darn good, and we've got the diagnostic system very, very good to the point where we're able to produce a proposal by way of a proposal agreement which is so compelling it's almost impossible to imagine somebody turning it down. The other benefit of ConsultX is, once you've got a client, is it'll give you a track to run on and it'll make your job easier in managing the business with the owner or the manager of the business. And what I mean by that is that once you get into the consulting business, you'll see that most businesses are run on a pretty much a haphazard manner, and there's no proper system to it, when in fact a business is a government licensed entity that's been given a license for a few $100s to trade. That's about all that they've got. And every business that you get involved with, you'll find that they're all doing different things. Whereas we have built almost like a railway track to put the business train on so that it keeps moving forward in the same direction. In the system, in the ConsultX system, you're paid on results. not time. And your fees are calculated as a percentage of monthly revenue. So as the business gets bigger and grows, so does your income. And also, of course, the benefits of working with a consistent system is that you can handle more clients at a time. That's the nub of the question you just asked. My maximum was 18, but it kind of hovered between about 14 and 18. And others in our network, the consultant with the highest number of clients had 22. That was going back 2 or 3 years ago. And now the highest in our network is 14. So a good system enables you to maintain sanity and reduce confusion. One of the problems that I had was that I was working with so many clients. I needed a system to be able to keep track and keep control of what was actually going on. So the business success program I built for me, and then as people came on board in our network, they added systems and processes that they came up with, and we put them all together, and that's what ConsultX is. So it's not the work of just myself, it's the work of probably 150 consultants and thousands of clients over the years. And of course, using an automated system like ConsultX means that it can save you so much time because it produces your monthly reports automatically, which really impress the clients and keeps them on track. So you're earning 50% more as an employee. I'd say that if you came onto our system, came into our network and started using our program, then you would probably be able to earn another 50% compared to when you were an employee. The next letter is from Jane in Darwin, Australia. That's up in the top left-hand corner, one of the hottest places. Dear David, I'm considering going out on my own and starting a new career as a business consultant early in January 2017. I've previously been an accountant at a firm for 20 years, and I've seen the hardship that many of my clients have gone through, and I've been unable to help them, even though I felt a lot of them I could have. Please tell me whether you think accountants make good business consultants. Well, we have many accountants in our network who have successfully transitioned across from being an accountant, working in an accounting firm or by themselves, transitioned across to becoming a business consultant. And if you wait a couple more episodes, we're going to be interviewing some of them on our podcast in the new year, early in 2017. The good thing about accountants, I have found, is that they, like you said, they have the awareness of the potential market of business owners who are having the challenges with their business. And this means that right from the start of them becoming a consultant, they know that the market is out there, and all they have to do is to follow a proven system in order to encourage them to become clients. The accountants that have joined our network have told me this, and gosh, we've probably got about 20, and they've said that whilst they were working with clients, they were able to see a lot of the things that they were doing wrong, but in their particular accounting firm, they tended to focus on compliance, and they were doing tax and stuff like that, working in backwards in history, whereas we don't do that. We work forwards. We work 3 to 5 years ahead. Another good thing about accountants is that they've already overcome the belief issue, and that is that over 75% of business owners require our help. A lot of new people coming in as business consultants from, say, corporate or from owning their own business, they don't believe that over 3/4 of the business owners need our help, and it takes them a month or so of being out there in the marketplace, meeting these people to be able to prove this to themselves. And also consider too the benefit of being able to quickly sort out the financials of a business, because most of the businesses, I'd say over 90% of businesses that we take on as clients, the financial books are in a mess. And as you know, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And that is so important for the kind of work that we do. We need to be able to measure monthly precisely is what is going on. And I'm talking plus or minus 1%. Because if you can't do that, then you don't know whether the changes or strategies that you put in place are working or whether they're not. Also, you may already have a hot prospect list to start talking to, and that's a tremendous advantage to have as well. You may know hundreds of potential clients, and they may know you, so you can walk straight to the door and start talking to them. Another thing is that January, and this has been recorded in I think the 28th of November, January is the best month for starting in this profession because most businesses after Christmas they tend to kind of reset and they're keen to take on new ideas for improvement in the upcoming year, a kind of a New Year's resolution. So many people, so many business owners that I speak to say, oh, thank goodness 2016's finished, 2017's got to be better. Well, you're the guy or gal who's going to make it better for them. Next letter is from Simon in San Francisco, USA, and he says, oh, it's a simple one. Dear David, congratulations on launching ConsultX internationally and good luck. My question is simple. I've come from a farming background all my life and our family farm has just recently been sold to a conglomerate and I'm considering moving into the business consulting profession. I have an MBA and I've done some management studies. What are my chances of success? Well, from over a decade of observing people in our network, I can tell you that the most important traits are not educational. The most important trait, I think, is the ability to put in the time and effort to get out and meet business owners. And you need to go out with passion and conviction and a belief that you can help them over the long term. ConsultX has got the system that you can use, and it's had a decade of development with it, contributed by people in our network and, of course, their clients. We didn't use them as guinea pigs, we just learned from them. And it also helps to have a never give up attitude. Remember that you're changing careers and that it'll take you time for you to become an expert consultant, just like if you went to work for another company. And it's not what you know that makes a good consultant, it's knowing where to go to get the answers that makes a difference. If you really want to do this and you're prepared to learn the new skills required, then business consulting could be the best career choice for you. We have many people in the network who come from all manner of previous backgrounds: policemen, dentists, lawyers, accountants, business owners, franchise owners, the list goes on and on. No particular occupation or profession stands out more than others. As I said, it's the passion and the motivation and it's the desire to help business owners that makes the difference between a successful consultant or not. The next letter is from Charles from Boston in the USA. Dear David, what size of businesses best suits ConsultX? Well, the consensus of people in our network is that businesses between 1 million and 30 million seem to benefit the most from working with us. And there's a bit of background to this. The bigger the business, the more difficult it is to get to the owner of the business, and the layers of management can be a bit problematic. Not insurmountable though, but you have to work around them sometimes. Now, the biggest client in our network today is 90 million Australian dollars, and our smallest is 500,000 Australian dollars. Now, we also do work with startups, which of course has got no initial turnover at all. I do have to say though that it's really important that if you do come across a startup, then you need to be in there helping them, because if they don't know what they're doing, then they're going to burn through all of their borrowed capital before they start making a profit. So startups are very good as well. And we also found that we do the best in privately owned businesses, as we can actually work with the owner and we can get things done. We've done work with some smaller public companies and things like that, but it's just not as good as working with a family-owned business. Whilst we're on the subject, I'd also like to say that the ConsultX Business Success Program will work with any type and size of business. A business is a government licensed entity that's been licensed to trade essentially and to make profit and to pay tax. And every business is exactly the same really. I can't show you a chart, this is a podcast, but money comes in one side, it goes out the other side, and if there's a good job has been done within the business, then there'll be a surplus or there'll be a profit. after it's finished trading. So once you get into the prospecting system, our prospecting system with prospects/business owners, then the truth will really come out, and it will be easy for you to spot areas of profit leakage. Now, profit leakage is profits that are being leaking out of the business today, and they straight away they destroy business value, because business value is based on the profitability of the business times a multiple as a general rule. I can also tell you that businesses that are between that 1 and 30 million, and probably if you look at the average of our whole complete network, it's about 3.5 million. Businesses that are in that range are the easiest to pick up. The bigger the business, the longer it takes. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to work with 30, 50, $100 million companies, but do be aware that it'll take you longer to work through all of the particular issues that they've got and for you to sign them up. So we advise people, we say, work on a whole range of businesses so that you can get some quick early wins and get them signed up and get some money in your bank, and then it might take you 3 months or 4 months to get a big fish, but when you do, the fees are going to be very lucrative. The next letter is from Bob from Auckland, New Zealand. Dear David, I have several questions for you. I have heard you say before that business consulting is a lifestyle business. Please elaborate on this. Well, what I mean is that compared to corporate or other businesses maybe, you're able to pick and choose what hours you want to work, what clients you want to work with, and what you want to do. Like, we have people in our network who only work a 4-day week. Some of them take 4-day weekends, and they're able to get decent holiday time and things like that. And the reason is that you plan your own business. Now, a lot of people I've spoken to tell me about the drudgery of the commute that they do to work every day. Like, gosh, I've heard some horror stories. I've heard some people say that they spend probably between about 2 and 4 hours a day commuting every single day. That's 20 hours a week. That is just huge. So what we're saying is, well, heck, you don't have to do that. Most of our people work from their home office, and I'm working from mine right now, looking out the window at the grass and the trees, and very pleasant atmosphere. And I decide, or when I was a consultant, I worked from home office too, and I decided what hours I wanted to work. We have some people in the network who they kind of do a week on, week off type arrangement, and what I mean by that is that they'll pile all of their meetings with their clients into week 1, for example, Monday to Thursday, take Friday off, and the next week they'll be very, very light. They meet with their clients typically once they've got their clients up and running and got the ConsultX system operating. Then they meet with clients every 2 weeks. And the process is that we do a implementation meeting in the first 2 weeks of the month. That's meeting 1. And then we do a management meeting in the second 2 weeks of every month, which is financials and key performance indicators. So the system is very leveraged towards protecting your time and protecting your income. So that's what we mean by a lifestyle business. So you can take the kids to school, you can have Fridays off, Friday and Mondays off, all sorts of things. I was talking to one of our people in our network this morning, and he was telling me how he has a lake house, and he leaves early Friday morning and goes down to his lake house. It's about an 1.5-hour drive south of Auckland, and he ends up there, and his wife has gone down the day before. He takes his computer, he goes and does an hour's work sitting on his deck with a cold drink looking over the lake, and then he'll go out in his boat for a couple of hours and do some fishing, and then come back home again and do another hour. That's what it's like controlling your own, controlling what you do and having complete control of your lifestyle, which is very different to working in corporate. And of course, in this business, you are the one that decides how much money you want to earn. Like, you write your own paycheck. If you really want to put your back into this and really get into it and build a big business out of it, then it's entirely possible. And if you just want to cruise along a bit perhaps and not earn so much money, you might be a little bit older, you might have some assets that you've saved up all over your life, then that's fine for you too. So that's what we call a lifestyle business. Second question is, how easy is it to sign up a business owner? Well, that's a very good question, because we've been working on this since 2005, and it's been probably the most worked on part of our business success program, because it's so vitally important to have the ability to sign up a business owner. And in order to do that, you have to go through certain specific meetings: discovery meeting, diagnostic meeting, and then the proposal agreement meeting. They have to be very well run. We've evolved our system over, it's almost 11 years, and what we've done is, by taking the advice of 150 people in the network and building it into our program, we've developed a system that I can't see much more improvement in what we're currently doing. And we say, please don't invent the wheel. If you follow our system to the letter, and if you become good at it and train yourself on it and do role playing with people that will come and help you to do that, then it should be very easy to sign up a business owner. Because as we've said earlier, 75% of them need our help. They just don't know it yet, and we need systems and processes to be able to do this. Question 3 is, what is the lifetime value and the time frame of consulting clients? When we start talking to them, when they become clients, we talk about 3 to 5 years. Generally, it's 3 years if it's a groom and sell, and 5 years if it's a younger owner who wants to stay in for a long period of time and take on the world. So that means that we're always working 5 years ahead. So that means that if we do a good job, and if we measure it properly and we manage it properly, and if we're helping them to deliver results, then the lifetime of the client, it could be in excess of 5 years. There are lots of clients in our network that have been with us right back to when we became a franchise, which was in 2009, and that's 5 years that these clients have been with us. Sure, we lose clients every now and then. They might sell their business, they might retire suddenly, they might get sick, and good heavens, they might die. We've had one die on us. Thankfully, that's all. It isn't bad out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients. So, the value, that's entirely up to you. What I found when I was consulting was that I had these pie charts, and I've lost them. But the pie charts, I did them every December, and I would look at the number of clients that I had. They were between about 14 and 18. I'd look at the industries that they're in, and it was kind of like looking at a share portfolio, really. And I'd have concrete would 10% of what I was working on, and cosmetics would be X%, and chips, hot chips would be whatever, 12%, and all the way around. So I knew the industries that I was working in, I knew what the percentage was, I knew what the revenue of all those businesses were. When I'd finished, and when I let all my clients go and I built this into a franchise in 2009, I had $72 million worth of businesses under my control who were clients of mine. And I was getting something like about 30% growth per year, which meant my fees were going up 30% growth per year. Some were going up 100%, some were going up 0%, depending on the business. And so if I'd have kept going, with those clients and just replaced ones that I lost during the year, my earnings on those 18 businesses would have been in excess of $1.4 million today in 2016, based on the increase in monthly revenue that they were getting. And that's why we adopted that system. We don't charge hourly rates. We start off with a fixed fee, and then we move to a percentage of monthly revenue. And that saves us having to go back and renegotiate contracts and things like that. Works very, very well. It wasn't even my idea, it came from a client. He said, "You think you're so darn good, David." He said, "I'll pay you a percentage of monthly revenue so that as my revenue goes up, then so will your consulting fees." So I hope that answers your question for you, Bob. We got one more letter, which we'll do next. The next letter is from Lucy in Hong Kong. "Dear David, I'm in Hong Kong and I was wondering whether your program would work in a business community where English is a second language." Good question, Lucy. I can tell you that we have experience in Holland where we have 25 consultants who use our program. They converse with business owners in Dutch and English, and they interpret where required. Some of the program, they actually made up their own slides in Dutch, and they translated our brochures into Dutch and their website into Dutch. But mainly English seemed to work well most of the time. I lived in Hong Kong a while ago, and as I remember, English was taught in schools, and I'm unsure if that is still the case today after China took over a few years back. So in short, I would think that if English was a second language in any country around the world, and if the consultant could be competent in both the local language and the English language, I can't see there being a problem at all. That's all we have time for today. If you have any letters you want to send me or emails you want to send me with questions, send them to david@consultx.com. That's david@consultx.com. My definition of a lifestyle business is one where you decide the hours you want to work, who you want to work with, and how much money you want to earn. Many people I talk to describe in detail the drudgery of their current job. Hours of commuting, boring meetings, little chance of promotion, and remuneration just enough to live on, and with little or no chance of improvement. Imagine a business where you can take the kids to school when you want to, have a 3 or 4 day weekend when you want to, cut out the commuting, and have complete freedom of your time. Business consulting is a business where you get paid for what's between your ears, not the hours you work. Working on a percentage of revenue basis frees you from time-based earning systems and takes away all income ceilings. I've worked from home since 2005, and right now I'm looking out of my office window at the green rolling pastures of New Zealand, about 50 kilometres south of Auckland. Fantastic. But in order to move forward, you have to make some important decisions to make that change. You've already started that change by listening to this weekly podcast. This podcast is all about that change, and each week we'll be highlighting a number of topics and features that will be of interest to you, whether you are already a consultant or you're looking to become one. We will interview people in our network and dig deep into what makes them tick and why they have become successful. We will read out your letters and answer them for you. We will discuss a case history from our clients' files. We'll discuss a special topic each week from our listeners' suggestions. That's you. Bottom line, if you're a business consultant and you want to improve or you want to become a business consultant, then this is the podcast for you. This podcast will be recorded every Monday, New Zealand time, and will be available to you every Wednesday, United States time. Our email address for communication is david@consultx.com. If you want to get more information right now, then go to www.info.consultx.com. I'll repeat that, www.info.consultx.com. There you'll find everything you need to know to become part of our ConsultX network. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week on Everything Business Consulting.